Pull up to the pregame, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Hey, pull up to the pregame, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Hey, catch a vibe.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pregame Podcast. We lit, we live, and while y'all at it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Carlo, aka It's your boy Lo. We in the building, man. Another Thursday. I'm excited to be here. Vasa should be on her way pretty soon. She had a few things to wrap up. Shop will not be with us tonight because he's on dad duties. Y'all know he got dance dad vibes going on, so he got to go take care of some business. So shout out to my boy Shot. He won't be with us tonight, but it's all good because we still out here. You know what I'm saying? We still in the building. I see all the vibes already in the chat. Make sure y'all let me know if y'all new here. Welcome. If y'all not new here, y'all know what I'm about to say next, right? So let me tell y'all, I'm in a very grateful mood today for a lot of different reasons, you know what I mean? But as I was sitting here just preparing for tonight's podcast, man, I was just thinking about this journey, right? This journey from last year to where I am now, and it's crazy that we got 330 subscribers already, which is awesome. You know what I mean? This is just a dream that I had to, it's something I wanted to do, and so thank y'all for following me on this journey, supporting me throughout this time, subscribing, watching, liking it, telling people about it, man. That goes a long way. And just me being grateful, I think that's what I'm pulling up with, right? I'm pulling up with gratitude and just thankfulness for y'all. When I think about where this podcast can go and what I've done so far, and some of the ideas that I do have, we can only go as far as the support that you all give to this particular podcast. So man, I appreciate it, man. I just want to say it. If I don't say it enough, I'm sorry, but I appreciate you all pulling up, letting people know about this, man. I get a lot of people that reach out. I'm like, yo, this is the best podcast that no one knows about yet. When I hear stuff like that, when y'all tell me stuff like that, man, it gives me energy. It gives me more creativity to think through different segments, the production, all those different things, man. That gives me energy to keep on going, man. So I appreciate y'all for letting me know those things. Continue to give me feedback. Continue to let me know what you want to see on this show, what guests you want to see on the show, some segments, topics, whatever it may be. We do this for y'all, so I definitely appreciate y'all. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I just wanted to say that because I had some time to do it, but I appreciate that. But I will say this though, while we got some more people coming in, I'm gonna say it again a little later. We got some people coming in, but we got a live show coming up soon. We working on it. We in the talks. We're figuring out some stuff. Probably around training camp vibes. So just let you know, man, it's gonna be lit. You want to be in the building because we're gonna have some people. You want to be in the building. We working on it, all right. And if y'all know how we get down, you know what I'm saying, how I maneuver behind the scenes, you know it's gonna be lit. So just make sure y'all pull up for the live show whenever that happens. All right. I just want to let y'all know. Cool. So we got a fun show for y'all today. As you saw the title of this particular podcast. Oh, before I go, I'm going too fast. For those who are new, welcome to the Pregame Podcast. It's your fusion of sports and pop culture. We talk about a little bit of everything all the time. That's what we do here at the Pregame. And one thing we always start off with is hearing what you're pulling up with, right? And so if you've been to a pregame before, basically, you never come to the pregame empty-handed. You're always bringing something, right? So here at the pregame, we don't want you to bring anything tangible, We just want to see how your week was, what type of energy, what type of vibe, what type of mood you pulling up with, right? So that's why I said I'm pulling up with, you know, gratitude, appreciating y'all. I see a lot of people in the chat already. Hey, shout out to my guy, Everyday Gaming, always pulling up, man. The real podcast P is here. The pregame. I appreciate you, bro. You always look. Everyday Gaming, bro, has been supporting nonstop, bro. Like even if he doesn't catch it live, he's always throwing comments in the chat, bro. I appreciate that support, bro. Those things like that goes a long way. He even, I think, Everyday Gaming, it was you that called me out on having some a particular fact wrong. I appreciate y'all. Keep me honest. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm human. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna get things wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's my opinion, but I appreciate you, Everyday Gaming, for always showing up, always showing that support, bro. Look, you pregame gang, bro.
Hey, say gang.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So yeah, I want to know what type of energy y'all pulling up with. What kind of vibe y'all pulling up? How was y'all week? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna wait for some of the comments to come in. I'm gonna see how y'all week was. I can't believe it's already Thursday. I'm kind of grateful. It's already Thursday. It's been a long week. It's been a long couple weeks. Work has been kicking my butt, but you know what? We still standing 10 toes. You know what I mean? Like we still standing 10 toes. But I've been in a very like creative mood lately. And I'm excited. Like I got some things in the works. Also, as y'all putting y'all comments in, I had a conversation with Nashad. If you have not gone to see that in the mind of an NFL agent episode that we posted, make sure I go check that out. But he definitely just confirmed today that he's coming back. Hey, he's coming back. He's we're gonna talk about a few different things. We may do 2 different episodes, right? I think he's gonna come back for to talk about NIL, college, and how that works and all those different things. And then we're gonna do free agency. So I think that may be a little bit later in the fall once before the NFL year starts. But yeah, he's coming back. He's super excited. He thought it was really dope, and so we're gonna run that back. So Nashad's gonna be on. We don't know if it's gonna be live or recorded, but I'll let y'all know, man. So make sure y'all get y'all questions ready because it's gonna be lit. Shout out to my pops, always supporting. He said he pulling up with excitement for the 3-day weekend. I feel that. Olivia says she pulling up ready for this 3-day week. Everybody ready for 3-day weekend. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I am too. I'm excited. I am very excited. Who on the grill is the question. Who is on the grill and where do I need to pull up? Who on the grill, right? Um, we got a lot of people on Twitter watching as well. Make sure y'all come over, subscribe. Look, I'm trying to get to 500. Can I get a 5? Look, I'm trying to get this YouTube partnership. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to 500. When I get to 500, I promise you, y'all, it's up. Look at me in my eyes. It's up. All right, it's up. I look, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it's up. Let me just get to 5. Let me get this YouTube partner program. So, yo, let people know. Pull up and all those different things, man. So look, I appreciate it. Everyday Gaming. He said, no problem, G. And man, I love the podcast, man. It's been a great one. This podcast gets me through the day at work if I miss it, but I'm glad I'm here. Seeing you work while being a dad is inspiring. Bro, I appreciate that, man. Look, being a family man and grinding. Let me tell y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? Since we having this conversation, this is what I like. You know what I'm saying? This is why I like to go live versus record it because I like to have this interaction with people. You know what I mean? Let me tell y'all, bro. It is definitely a sacrifice. It's definitely a labor of love because when you're working a full-time job and then being a husband and being a father, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of hours where I'm in it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I'm working on content, figuring out what to talk about, what I think is going to be good content to discuss. And then putting together all the things that you're seeing here, the production piece. Like I don't have a team, you know what I mean? Like I'm finding the videos and cutting them up, all those. It's definitely a labor of love, but none of this would be possible without my wife too. Like shout out to her for letting me have that time to do that where we could be sitting down watching a movie and I'm sitting down watching a movie with the laptop on my lap working on content. So I appreciate her for allowing me to do this. And so look, man, we trying to get this YouTube partnership so we can get a little bit more money into this particular podcast so we could do more. You know what I mean? Like all this is coming out of my pocket. I want to be able to, create some a little bucket, a little bank to make this TPG go up. You know what I'm saying? So all this is not possible without you all. So Everyday Gaming, you're a dad as well. Look, shout out to the dad gang, bro. If you don't have a hat, bro, Everyday Gaming, if you don't have a dad gang hat, hit my line. I want to get you a dad gang hat, bro. If you don't have one, bro, I want to get you a dad gang hat. So hit my line. Let me know what size you want. I got the extra large because I got the hair and everything, so it fits right. Let me know. Go to the Dad Gang website. Let me know what color you want. I'm getting you a hat, bro. Just let me know. All right. So we got a lot of content to talk about tonight. You saw on the title, "Where's the Love?" The reason I called it this is because it's been a lot going on where it's been a lot of hate, bro. It's been a lot of hate in the building between the RG3 and Ryan Clark beef. To everyone tripping on Halliburton. We'll get into that, even though that man is balling. So everything is around why people hating, why people can't just take things offline and have that conversation. We're gonna talk about that, right? When Vashti gets here, we're gonna talk through of course, we're gonna do our pregame react. So I got some videos for y'all to react to live. And then also we're gonna talk through the Panthers wide receiver room, right? I feel like, it's been a lot of talk around the Panthers wide receiver room. So I got some questions for us to answer tonight. And then talk through who's under more pressure? What player, what staff member is under most pressure on the Panthers? This is not a Panthers podcast, but me as a fan of the Panthers, we're gonna sprinkle in a little bit of the Panther talk. So we're gonna talk about that tonight. So yeah, NBA stuff too. But first, I think what we'll start off with is starting lineup. So I got a starting lineup tonight. Starting lineup tonight is going to be top 10 Biggie songs. Yes, Notorious B.I.G. Yesterday was his birthday. I don't even know how old did he turn. I need to look it up. Let me see. How old did he turn? How old did Biggie turn? Let's see. We doing this live, y'all. Biggie Small's birthday. So it was May 21st. So it was definitely yesterday. $1972. So wow. Hey, that man is a little old, hey? I love it. Let me see. So he been 53. Wow. So 53 years old, y'all. 53. So yeah, so it was his birthday. So I'm gonna do a top 5 Biggie songs. This is tough. This was very, very tough for me. And if y'all know me, I'm a music head, so I take the music very, very serious. So I had to do my, my research. And my research doesn't mean Googling. My research means diving back into the catalog and figure that piece out. Deontay, what's good, my boy? Good to see you, dog. You always in here too, man. I appreciate you. So yeah, let's get into it. So we're gonna do starting lineups. So let's get it. Starting lineup.
And now the starting lineup.
All right. So starting line up. Let's get into it. Let me take these off real quick. Oh, messed that up. Hold on. Boom. Boom. All right. Put myself right here. All right, so top 5 Biggie songs. Now, here's the thing, man. One thing Biggie has a crazy catalog, and I wanted to make sure that all my top 5 were his songs, not songs that he was featured on, his songs. All right, so I had to put that little caveat on my research. So, as you all know, if you're new here, the way that we do the starting lineup, it goes from 5 to 1, right? 5 to 1. As I'm doing this, let me give you some context, man. I grew up a Biggie fan because my pops loved Biggie. Even when it was like the Biggie versus Pac situation. My dad wasn't a big Pac fan. He was a big Biggie fan. So that's what I grew up listening to. So I leaned towards Biggie more than Pac. Now, as I got older, I definitely listened to pop music. And I think he's a great artist. You know what I mean? But in terms of flow, in terms of delivery, in terms of versatility, and beats all that, Biggie for me did it. His content, his bars, all those different things. Biggie was just one of those guys. He is probably top 5, top 10 rappers of all time in my book, personally. Yes, he only had 2 albums. Yes, he had a short career, but dude is gas. All right. So number 5, put y'all's in the chat. Number 5 for me, and this is gonna be interesting, but number 5 is Juicy. Right? Now, Juicy, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Like everybody loves that song, and it's definitely fire. And I will say it's probably one of his most popular ones. And I went back and forth, Deontay, on the Money More Problems one too. All right, spoiler alert, More Money More Problems is not in my top 5. All right. And I should have started off with saying what my honorable mentions were. My honorable mentions, I got 2 honorable mentions, right? The first one is Who Shot Ya? Who Shot Ya is that song is gas from the beat to everything he was saying, you know what I'm saying? Like it was definitely a diss song to Pac if you have not heard it. And so that one right there was really really solid. Like it was a simple beat and it needed to be simple cuz it was a diss track. You know what I mean? But Who Shot Ya was definitely honorable mention. And then the other one is 10 Crack Commandments. Now, 10 Crack Commandments was so close to being in my top 5 because that was the first time that you heard someone actually creating like the what that song is all about and how he did it of really basically creating 10 rules to the crack game and selling. Like I don't know, like a lot of rappers to this day have repurposed it or have created their own rendition on that. But for Biggie to do it and the way he did it, it was absolute fire to me. Super creative. So yeah, 10 Crack Commandments. It was close in the top 5, but I gotta give it honorable mention for sure. All right, so number 5 for me is Juicy. I explained why. I think for me, I don't want to say it was played out, but a lot of people loved Juicy because of what he was talking about growing up, all those things. He definitely got so many quotables. If you don't know, now you know. Bruh, everybody talks about it to this day. And when I say like, I really wonder if Biggie has to be one of the ones that his bars have to be uh taken. Like, it's so many rappers who have taken his bars from some of his songs and then redid them. And like as I went through and researched a lot of the Biggie songs, I recognized so many bars that other rappers have taken or have shifted to, add set a line, but then like added their own little touch to it. Is pretty crazy. But Juicy is my number 5. My number 4 honestly could have been number 3 and possibly even number 2, right? So I'm about to switch it live. I'm switching my number 3 to my number 4, my number 4 to my number 3. My number 4 is going to be Big Papa, right? Uh that song for me, like who remembers Hardball? Hey, I love it when you call me Big Papa. Hey, like that's bruh, Big Papa, the beat, his flow is super chill. It's it's gangster, bro. Like it's super gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that he would like from the video to everything, he was chilling. Like everything was just fire about that song. So Big Papa, number 4 for me. Um, I think it was definitely different during that time. I can imagine, I'm saying I was young during that time, but like going from like all the music that was out at that point in time to like coming in and now you got somebody so super chill. He's big, he's chill. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's just, bruh. I love when a rapper can switch it up like that and just do something real like real smooth. You know what I'm saying? Dun, 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 dun. Like, bruh, like the sample, everything, gas. Big Papa number 4 for me. All right, so number 3. Number 3 is an interesting one, and it's probably one of my favorite Biggie songs, but I couldn't put it number 1. It's one of my favorites, and that's Notorious Thugs. Gosh, bro. If if you two aren't tripping, you know what I'm saying? I would sit here and play it. You know what I mean? That's why, like, yo, I'll be thinking of sometimes. This is just random tip. Low key, I be wanting to go to Twitch and stream the podcast versus YouTube because Twitch will let you play music. You know what I'm saying? And we're on this podcast, we're pretty heavy on the music, and Twitch will let you just play it. YouTube be boy, like even when I'm doing my reactions and stuff, they be like, yo, chill low. Like they bro, I'm like, yo, I'm just reacting to I'm not making no money off of this. I'm just reacting to it. I don't know, bro. But anyway, Notorious Thugs, bro. Notorious Thugs for a few different reasons. One, I love Bone Thugs and Harmony. Um, I grew up listening to them. Bone Thugs and Harmony that's just one of my groups. And for him to go on a track and switch like he showed his versatility, his technical versatility in that song. I don't think people thought that he would be able to rap at their speed with his same content, and then also switch the flow at a quick speed too. Like everything in that song, it was definitely fire. Notorious Thugs, the chorus, even the way it comes, is Bone and Biggie, Biggie, is Bone and Biggie, like bruh. That the beat, all that's bro. Notorious Thugs is definitely a top 3 Biggie song for me for sure. Like that's something I still listen to every now and then. Like if I'm in a car and like you know when a song is good when you play in the car. Like there's 2 ways that I listen to new albums, y'all. Two ways. One is either over the ear headphones, so I got some beats, right? I don't do the AirPods when I'm listening to a song, or if I want to like if I'm like chilling at the house and everything, I'm just playing like music I know, then I'll throw the AirPods in. But if it's like a new artist or new album I want to listen to and I really want to like dig into that particular song or to dig into that album, over the ear headphones or in the car. That's when you really get like every piece of music like that you get the 808s, you get the hi-hats, all those different things. Like you got to. So that's just a little nugget for y'all, man. A little nugget for y'all. So yeah, Notorious Thugs is definitely number 3 for me. Still bang that in the car. Bro, when I played that, doing my research this week, and I put that in the car on the way to work. Oh my gosh. I'll say at first I was like, this might be number 1. But my next 2 is hard to pass up, which goes into my number 2. One More Chance. Hey, bro, One More Chance. I saw somebody on here had One More Chance, uh, as number 5. That was kind of low. It's kind of low, big dog. One More Chance for me, bro. One More Chance for me is one of the ones I can. Like I said, he was the king of the smooth flow. You know what I'm saying? Smooth flow. And One More Chance, that song's fire, bro. Song is fire. Which leads to my number 1. And I feel like number 1 is gonna be for a lot of people, except for my boy Everyday Gaming. What he got? Let's see. He said, what he got number 1? He got Long Kiss Goodnight, and the number 1 It's Unbelievable. Gas. Good song. Very, very good song. That's another honorable mention. I rock with that song. Number 1 for me is Hypnotize, though. I gotta go with Hypnotize. Gotta go with Hypnotize. The way that song comes on, the sample, everything on there, Hypnotize is probably one of Biggie's best songs, in my opinion, from like, I'm talking all around best songs. Now, granted, he's got a lot of songs like Negroes Bleed. Like that song from a content perspective, what he's talking about and how he's breaking it down is absolutely amazing. Oh, good question, Chaz. One More Chance remix. One More Chance remix. I gotta be clear on that. One More Chance remix. Thank you. But yeah. But going back to Cali, I forgot about that one. That's a fire one too. Going back to Cali is a good one too. But yeah, Hypnotize for me, bro. Hypnotize has everything you need in there, bro. From like it had single all over it, mainstream hit. It was a bop. It was a banger. It was a slap. However you say that a song is a hit, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. It was a slap. To this day, it's one of those ones. And yeah, I think that's one of the songs I listen to often. I appreciate y'all. This starting lineup. No, Biggie, happy belated, man. I can't believe he would have been 53 if he was still living today. Have y'all been paying attention? Quick question for y'all. Have y'all been paying attention to the Joey and the Rayvon and Daylight beef. It's been wild. And it made me think about that too when I was first off, shout out to Olivia in the chat. She thought of the idea for the top 5 Biggie songs. And I was like, that's a great idea. And that's why I love interacting with you all, because y'all like, hey, we want to do this. Bet, let's do it. So yeah, shout out to Olivia Foster for that. But yeah, have y'all been paying attention to the beef? Because I thought about that when I was listening to some of the songs like What's Beef and going back to Cali and all those different songs that were, beef related songs. And I was like, yo, it's crazy how like it's changed from, back in the day, like lives, unfortunately, lives were taken. You know what I'm saying? And, they say hip hop's a sport and you want to keep it that way. We don't want people to lose their lives. And so I'm glad that we're seeing people be competitive in hip hop and it's not getting to the point where people are losing their lives. You know what I mean? So yeah, Joey killing them though. I say all that to say Joey walking them, bruh. Daylight and Daylight's bars. Like I'm not gonna get too deep because or too technical because we got other stuff to talk about. But Daylight had bars, but his beat selection just wasn't getting it. You know what I'm saying? This day and age, where we are in this big 2025, you got to have more than just that. You got to be able to make a song. You know what I mean? Like make a song that people are gonna rock to, people can listen to, and it has replay value. You know what I'm saying? Because Joey got a few. My Town with Loaded Lux is gas, and Crash Out Dummy. Crash Out Dummy is one. You know what I'm saying? Rayvon did a good job too, y'all. Rayvon did a good job, but what Kendra say? It's not enough. It wasn't enough. But yeah, Joey going stupid, y'all. Joey going stupid. He's showing like, look, bro, I've been listening to Joey since I was in college. You know what I'm saying? When he came out with some of his stuff, Pro Air, all the mixtapes and stuff. So I've been rocking with Joey for a minute. But yeah, he definitely walking them, bro. So shout out to the beefs, man. Shout out to the beefs. All right, so let's get into some content. Where do I want to start? Uh yeah, we'll start here. So we'll go here. So where's the love? Let's get into some content. All right, so let's start off with the first thing that I want to talk about. This is something I want to talk about a while ago, but I want to get around to it because everybody gives as Panthers fans, I think we sometimes don't see that the grass is not always greener on the other side. People give, um, you know, David Tepper a hard time sometimes. People give Dan Morgan a hard heck, we even gave Scott Fitterer, he wasn't as bad as what I think Duke Tobin's doing right now. So Duke Tobin, the guy on the left, is the Bengals GM. And I want to say this guy, I don't know if they have an issue. Look, I'm a Panthers fan. I don't dig too deep into cap space and all that when it comes to other teams. I don't know if there's a cap space issue. I don't know if this man's just a penny pincher. I don't know. I don't have all the details. But what I do know is this man is not paying his players. And, when I think about it, and, the guy over here is Trey Hendrickson, who, Panthers reportedly had interest in. But he basically he's been if you haven't seen him play, dude's a dog, right? And his best years have been with the Bengals. And I mean, this man has had what 17 and a half sacks, 15 and a half sacks. Like this man's going stupid, stupid. And we all, everyone here, unless you're young, have a job or have worked at a job, and you know that when you are performing well, you are looking for either a promotion or a raise. You are looking forward to that because you know that your performance has outweighed or outvalued the salary that you currently have. And the same way we do it in the corporate space is the same way that NFL players or just front office people are looking at it as well. If you're performing or out working or you have shown that you are worth more than what your contract says right now, because of the value and the performance and the results that you have shown, you are due a raise, right? So Trey Henderson, this is going back a few years when he knew his contract was coming up. What smart GMs do is try to get ahead of the market and say, you know what? This guy is cooking. Let me pay him before a Micah Parsons gets paid. Let me pay him before what's the dudes from Cleveland Browns? I can't think of his name right now. Let me pay my guy before oh boy gets paid. Like, you want to be ahead of the market. Duke Tobin, he had a good problem that has now become a bad problem on his hands. The good problem is the fact that you have really, really good players on your team, i.e. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trey Henderson, Joe Burrow. At that point in time, you had the running back as well, who's at the Texans. Myles Garrett. Thank you, Chaz. I couldn't think of his name. Myles Garrett. You had a good problem with having good players, right? Now, at the end of the day, when you have a lot of good players like that and you know that you need to pay them at some point in time, what does that mean, y'all? That means your Super Bowl window has opened up and you have to capitalize as quick as possible before everyone wants to get paid and that Super Bowl window starts to dwindle, because now your cap space starts to dwindle and then you're in this purgatory, i.e. Saints, right? So he knew he had to pay Joe Burrow. He knew T. Higgins was going crazy, and so you had to pay him. And now you have a situation in your hands. Do you pay T. Higgins, right, or do you pay Trey Henderson? That's what everybody was saying all summer. I mean, all offseason. Who is Duke Tobin going to pay? Is he going to pay T. Higgins or is he going to pay Trey Henderson? Right? Because it can't be both. It can't be both. But Duke Tobin, right here, this is why I picked this picture. He was at the combine. He said, I'm paying both. I'm paying both of them. I don't care what y'all say. We're not trading T. Higgins. We're not trading Trey Henderson. Shout out to the Panthers. They're like, you know what? We're going to kick the tires, as they should. They said, we're going to kick the tires. We're going to see what's up. My guy, Ricky. What's good, brother? Good to see you, man. He said, we're gonna kick the tires. We're going to see what's up. And T. Higgins got his deal. Jamar Chase got a crazy deal. Crazy deal. I think T. Higgins took the brotherhood and franchise discount because he could have got a lot more if he'd have went off on the market, but that's a whole nother conversation. All that to say, Trey Henderson still has not been paid. And reportedly, and I got to say reportedly because we haven't seen anything come out, but reportedly, he lowballed him on the contract. The contract that he sent over, he lowballed Trey Hendrickson. And now Trey Henderson is coming out and saying he has not had any contact with the front office since the lowball. And now Zach Taylor, who is the coach for the Bengals, have called Trey Henderson and his team and said, hey, Trey, if you don't show up to OTAs or you don't show up to training camp, not OTAs because it's optional. If you don't show up to training camp, you're getting a fine. So not only have I outperformed my contract 2 years in a row, and you knew this time was coming, you knew that we were in contract negotiation, you knew that I was looking for a long-term deal, and I have shown you I've been top 2, top 3 best defensive ends in the league consistently, and I haven't been injured, T. Higgins. And now you're coming to me and saying you're going to fine me and then lowball a contract? And then, not just that, y'all. This is not the only situation that they're in. They also have this guy right here, Shamar Stewart, their first round pick, I think it was 17. Shamar Stewart has not signed his rookie contract because Duke Tobin has once again lowballed him. That's crazy. But hey, look, shout out to the Panthers, though. I'm glad we didn't draft him.
Bang, bang, bang.
Hey,
bang.
bullet dodged. Bullet dodge. Hey, look at me. Hey, bullet dodge, y'all. Bullet dodge. Because everybody was saying Shamar Stewart, he was drafted off potential, not production, because that man had 1.5 sacks last year. But look, at the end of the day, people are saying, I see a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on social media mad at Shamar Stewart for not signing his contract and saying like, oh, well, you only had a 1.5 sacks, this, that, and the third. You know, you didn't have a lot of production. And I thought about it. And I was like, at first, I was in that bucket of like, yo, why Smart Stewart tripping? Like, yeah, but as I started to think about it, I'm like, well, if they lowball one of the best players in the league and Trey Hendrickson, could you imagine what they lowballing a 17th pick over a 17th overall pick, defensive end? So shout out to him for holding out. I hope he gets what he deserves. But I say all that to say, look, y'all, as Panthers fans, and I've said this before. I'll say what I'm going to say right there. Shout out to shout out to the Panthers fans that really understand that the grass is not always greener. That there are a lot of other teams that are in some hot mess, worse than what we have or what we have been through. And I'm glad that we're on the other side of it, right? Because Duke Tobin has an issue on his hands. An issue on his hands, right? You got your best player, your best defensive player holding out. You got what you hoped would possibly be his replacement or his Robin to your Batman holding out. So you may not have either one of these people for training camp ready to play because you are penny pinching and you don't want to pay people. Somebody need to get fired. Somebody needs to be fired. Speaking of fired, what do y'all think about the Panthers releasing Coleman, releasing, the scouting people? Thought that was very interesting. The timing was very interesting, but it makes sense, man. It makes sense. The one guy, I can't think of his name, was here for 20 plus years. The other guy was here during the fit era. You know, it sounded like they're just trimming the fat. It sounded like they were just trimming the fat. I thought it was very interesting. Very interesting. And you don't make a move like that unless you got somebody in mind that you want, in my opinion. Whether that's somebody that's out there, or somebody that you want to promote. One of your guys that you want to promote. I thought it was interesting. Very interesting timing. Before we go into the next thing, we got 50 people in here right now. Make sure y'all, if y'all are on Twitter, make sure y'all just come over to YouTube real quick. Hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 500, y'all. We got to get to 500. And then we go into 1,000, right? And then it's up, right? Pregame Podcast to the moon. Make sure y'all come over. It's a free way to like, comment, subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss when we go live. All right, so let's get into some other content. Let's get into some basketball, y'all. So this has been a good. Let me tell y'all. Look, let me say this. In NBA during the season, to me, this is my personal opinion. All right, so what I'm about to say is about to be crazy. Not crazy, but it's my opinion. NBA during the season is not that exciting to me, right? But NBA during the playoffs is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And this season, this playoffs, each round, each game has been absolutely freaking incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let me get this put up right here and pull it over here. Let's see what Ricky said. Let me actually pull it up so I can see it. There we go. All right, Ricky said, you said it. Timing was interesting. Also, thought it was interesting. They said they're absorbing. Ooh, I missed this. Also, thought it was interesting. They said they're absorbing the positions internally and have no ready plans to replace them. Wow. Okay. So they're decentralizing those two positions and going to make it by committee. I wonder if there's a way for them to save money because those two people had some pretty high positions. One was a director of director of scouting personnel, excuse me. So I thought it was very interesting that happened. And maybe they realized that, hey, we really don't need you. And I think if Dan Morgan wasn't the GM, and someone who has like true scouting experience, I wonder if they would have kept those two positions. But since he does have scouting experience, he can lean in a little bit where he needs to, and that's a way to save money and to give other people raises. As we talked about earlier with Duke Tobin, if you're performing well, you're gonna look for those raises. Same thing happens with the front office; they're looking for those raises. So we'll see what that happens. We'll see if that happens. But back to the NBA, it's been so good, y'all. It's been really, really, really good. And Shad and Vashta always get me because I'm a Lakers fan. Yes, I'm a Lakers fan, but look, bro, it's been really, really, really good. And these 4 teams, I think the interesting thing about this particular conference finals is that we're going to get a new champion, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have, and it's so crazy to see like this new age of NBA happening right now, because before that, it was always either a LeBron, KD, Steph, all those different players who were like people that we grew up watching. They're no longer in the playoffs. These are all the new faces of the league, and I feel as though that, well, let me keep it a buck.
Stop the cap.
Jalen Brunson ain't a new dude. He's about 30. He ain't one of the new ones. He's new to like stardom, but he ain't the new one. So let me clear that up real quick. He's dang near 30. But everybody else, like, it's been a joy to watch. So my question to you all as I'm walking through this particular piece is, who y'all got? Who y'all think winning? Out of these 4, who you got? Who you putting your egg? What basket are you putting your eggs in? Who you think winning that? For me, this is tough because all I know that the winner is coming out the West. The champion is coming out the West. It's either the Thunder or the Timberwolves, right? Who I want to win? I love Ant Edwards, bro. I love Ant-Man. Like, how can you not like the guy for like on the court? I mean, that's more off the court situation. We're into that, but on the court, Ant Edwards is a dog, bro. But OKC, okay. Ooh, everyday game. OKC is boring. Ooh, okay. So they definitely play a little different. But one thing I will say, like, bruh, 68 and 14. I mean, it could be boring. Like the way I look at it, right? The way I look at it, everyday gaming, and this may be an L comparison. So keep me honest. OKC plays basketball similar to how, not like very, very similar, but somewhat similar to like how the old San Antonio Spurs play. They play team ball. You know what I mean? They're not gonna have a lot of highlight dunks or crazy moves. They don't have that. Like, I mean, it's SGA's MVP, so I can't say they don't have a superstar on there, but they just play good defense and they just play good team ball, in my opinion. But the person I really want to talk about today is someone who has gotten a lot of hate. Which is one of the reasons I named this podcast Where's the Love? Because, and I feel like the NBA was so freaking messy for this, y'all. So messy. So messy. Why would you have like all these these awards that players can vote for, right? Most improved player, right? Most valuable player, 6th man of the year, coach of the year, and then you're gonna come out of nowhere and put most underrated, but then you're gonna have most overrated player. Like, you knew what you were doing when you created an award for most overrated player. And Tyrese Halliburton won that award, most overrated player. Most overrated player. And I thought about it. I'm like, yo, why do people hate Halliburton so much? I don't understand, right? And I thought about it. And the comparison I'm about to say, y'all keep me honest if this is an L comparison. Y'all keep me honest, this is an L comparison, yo. But the way I thought about it was, when I look at Halliburton's game and what he does and who he is on and off the court, he, to me, is like the Russell Wilson of the NBA. The Russell Wilson of the NBA. Because if you think about Russell Wilson in his prime, great football player, great quarterback. Everybody liked to use that C word with Russell the same way they use that C word with Halliburton. That C word being corny, right? Who am I to judge? I'm not saying that either one of them are. Oh, I didn't say Reggie Miller. No. Every day. I don't know who said Reggie Miller. I didn't say Reggie Miller. I said Russell Wilson. I didn't say Reggie Miller. I have them up there because he did the celebration, which we're about to get into. But because of that, I think people feel like he's, oh, well, he's whatever. But Halliburton is cold. That's a cold dude. He's been cooking all postseason. Cooking. And if you didn't see that game last night, the Knicks were up. The Knicks were up and by like 20, 24, something like that. I think they're up like 21, 22 points with 52 seconds left in the game. Fourth quarter, 52 seconds left. And the Pacers came back. Now, first off, I got to give a huge shout out to Aaron Nesmith. He had about 28 points last night. 8 for 9. 8 for 9 from the three-point line. That man said, make me like Steph. 8 for 9? Nesmith, 8 for 9? That's crazy. So he went crazy, but he hit a crazy shot, which he thought was a 3, but it was a 2. He thought it was a 3 to win the game. It was a 2 to tie to go to overtime, and he did that. He did the choking celebration. And I know a lot of people get slack, especially Jason Tatum, for not being original. Because Jason Tatum has done a lot of different things, especially when they won the championship. He took like almost every daggone NBA championship saying that people have said, saying he did the what they gonna say now. He did anything's possible with the KJ. He took everybody. He said, I'm just taking everybody's little celebration, everything that went by. I'm just gonna say it all in one postseason interview. But the reason that I'm cool with this particular celebration is because, one, Reggie Miller was on the Pacers. He's on the Pacers. 2, Reggie Miller did this in Madison Square Garden. They were in Madison Square Garden. And 3, y'all were down by like 20 plus with 52 seconds left. And y'all came out of nowhere and the Knicks choked. They did a Knicks on the Knicks because the Knicks did that all last round with the Celtics. I think it was the Celtics. Celtics were winning, and then out of nowhere, Knicks would come back at the end and win. And the Pacers did just that. But all I gotta say is, like, where's the love for Tyrese, bruh? Like, yes, Tyrese is a corny guy. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not saying like you gotta like what he does off the court. Like, we talking about what he does on the court, right? Like I said with Ant Edwards, we ain't talking what he did off the court. You know what I'm saying? On the court, he's a dog. And Halliburton, I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves. But I think, I think the only people that really want, Deontay, you bring up a good point. The only people that really want the Pacers to win are Pacers fans. Like, anybody who's watching it for the love of basketball, or your team is out of the playoffs, I don't think anybody's really rooting for the Pacers. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, I'm rooting for the Timberwolves. You know what I mean? I would love to see Anthony Edwards get one, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. So shout out to Halliburton, man. I thought that was interesting. That I've been seeing a lot of just hate there. I'm like, God, what's going on, bro? Speaking of hate, dang, what a transition, Lo. Speaking of hate, anybody been paying attention to this beef? You know what I'm saying? We talked about beef earlier, in terms of Joey and Ray Vaughn and Daylight and Reason. I mean, basically Joey versus the West. What about RG3 and Ryan Clark? This has been interesting, bro. You know what I mean? And, for those who haven't seen it, I'm going to give you a Cliff Notes version. I ain't going to say too much. I'm going to give you a real Cliff Notes version. So basically, Cliff Notes version. RG3, Ryan Clark go back. They go back from teammates to even being on ESPN, Monday Night Football. So they did some analyst work together. This year, was it this year or last year? I can't remember. Right, RG3 gets fired from ESPN. He does his own thing, right? So he's doing his own thing. Ryan Clark gets a bag, from ESPN. And I'm saying all this because I feel as though this stuff comes into play. So just hear me out. Ryan Clark gets a bag from ESPN. And so, Ryan Clark is very opinionated, which like most analysts are. You know what I'm saying? Very successful. Ryan Clark gets a lot of hate. I like Ryan Clark. You know what I mean? Like I've actually had a conversation, a little small conversation via Instagram with Ryan Clark before, which is pretty cool. Just going back and forth, and this is before I even started the podcast, and just saying like, "Hey, look, appreciate your work. This, that, and the third. Any advice?" Like it was a good, solid conversation. So Ryan Clark, you're good in my book. But basically, RG3 said a few things around WNBA stuff that happened. So if you did not know what happened, it was the Caitlin Clark hard foul on Angel Reese. Now, both of them are extremely competitive. And from one angle, it looks like a simple foul. From another angle, it seems like a foul with a little extra push on it. Could have been a flagrant. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? We don't know exactly what happened. We only see what the film is telling us, right? So RG3 came back and he said a few things that were a little racially charged in a way around around Angel Reese and her hating on Clayton Clark and this, that, and the third. And the very interesting thing behind it is that his wife was behind him, cheering him on, this, that, and the third. Now, I know they do a lot of content together and all of that. Ryan Clark comes back on the pivot and he says a lot about RG3 and basically saying that what he was saying was incorrect and he won't understand the plight of a black woman because he's not married to one. All those different things, right? So it started to get really racially charged at that point in time. From there, like I said, this is the Cliff Notes version. It's a lot deeper than that, but if you haven't heard, I'm just trying to give you the Cliff Notes version so we can get moving on. So from there, RG3 then comes back. Now, granted, one thing I want to say in terms of context as well. He did mention Ryan Clark did mention his wife being in behind the actual the content, the episode or the clip that was posted, and basically said like, "Hey, all you do is talk about your wife from a race standpoint, but not necessarily for who she is. I haven't met your wife, but I know I can imagine." Well, he might say I might have met her once or whatnot, but I can imagine she is more than just what her race is. She seems like a great woman. That was his words, right? So RG3 then comes back on the podcast. Wife not in the background this time, but he does another clip and basically hits the Will Smith and says, basically, keep my wife and my children, which I don't remember the children being a part of it, but keep my wife and my children out your mouth, right? And he said what you said was utterly disrespectful, very racially charged, and he used that 4-letter word of ESPN that you should not have anybody on your network, ESPN, that talks the way that Ryan Clark talks. Now, granted, the context that I told you earlier was ESPN let RG3 go and gave Ryan Clark a bag, right? So that happened. And then a lot of people got into it. A lot of people started having opinions and all those different things. My take on all of this is I feel as though that this particular situation is deeper than this situation between RG3 and RC is deeper than just this particular topic. I feel like they got a lot of past beef because then, RC, Ryan Clark got on Twitter and used that C word, y'all. He called him corny. He said that you weren't a good teammate. You weren't a good analyst. I held you down at ESPN when people weren't rocking with you. This, that, and the third. I feel as though that this honestly could have been a situation that they could have handled like grown men and had this conversation private. Because now I think it takes away from the fact of where it started, which was WNBA, which I feel as though WNBA does not get a lot of credit. It does not get the credit it deserves. WNBA is fire. WNBA, I would watch actual in-season games before I watch NBA games because I just enjoy WNBA, right? They don't get the credit they deserve or the attention that they deserve. And so it went from RG3 using his platform that he has created, which he has a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers. You took away the attention of the WNBA and now put it on to Ryan Clark and his comments on that. Ryan Clark has then took away the attention of WNBA and now put it back on RG3 to have this back and forth beef with one another. And now it went from talking about this Angel Reese, the Caitlin Clarks, the Paige Bukers, all these the daggone all the different players, right? It went away from that to now we talking about RG3 and RC. And I think that for me is tough because it takes away nobody's talking about the WNBA anymore, right? Now, granted, I feel as though hopefully that there is a private conversation that happens, but I think the only thing that I did not like about all of this is the fact that RG3 definitely tried to come for somebody's job. Like, fire this man. Like, understand that you probably want to get back to where you were, but that's not the way to do it. You know what I mean? So all of this, like, I ain't calling neither one of them corny, but I think the situation is corny. I think you should just cut it out. Like, get back to talking about your opinion of sports and not necessarily your opinion on people's character. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. Where's the love? Where's the love, y'all? That's how I feel about it. So that's all I got to say about that, y'all. I thought it was very interesting. And another thing I thought was interesting was a lot of the NFL's rules that have come out. The first one is that they have officially approved NFL players to be a part of the 2028 Olympics, flag football Olympics. I want to know W or L. Is this a W thing or is this is an L thing? W or L. For me, I don't know if I like this, y'all. I don't know if I like this because the way that I look at the flag football. Hold on one second. I gotta mute myself. Hold on one second. Pause for the cause, y'all. Hold on one second. Pardon me. All right. I'm still getting over being sick. All right. So I see some W's in the chat. I don't know if I like it, y'all. For a few different reasons. One, flag football, and I'm talking about like competitive flag football, is a lot different from the flag football that the NFL plays during the Pro Bowl. There's a lot of different rules. There's a lot of different plays. Even the play style is different, right? And I understand, Chaz. I get it. NFL players will finally have a chance to compete for a gold medal like other sports, and that's the only thing that I like about this opportunity, right? However, like when you're used to contact and not used to like moving your joints, like I'm afraid that somebody might get hurt. Right? And could you imagine like someone moving, trying to dodge, trying to get something, you tear your ACL? Well, Carlo, you could tear your ACL in football and this, that, and the third. Yes, but at least you're getting paid for it. You know? Like I don't know. And then I'm thinking of like it's just flag football is different, y'all. It's a lot of different rules that you're gonna have to learn and do. Do I think that they can do it? Absolutely. I wonder who would do it and the team. The fact that they can get a gold medal, lit. Absolutely lit. But I know for a lot of flag football players who probably had aspirations of going to the NFL and playing NFL, but they were either too small, you know, it's not good enough for the NFL, or just didn't really get that really good opportunity to go to the NFL. Maybe have gone to professional flag football leagues, and to now have NFL players not get the chance to do it is tough, right? Well, Carl, you could say the same thing about NBA. Yeah, I could, right? But the NBA is different because it's just it to me it's just different. My opinion. This is like I said, this is my humble opinion. I'm curious to see how that's going to work. Are this going to be all NFL players, or is it going to be a mix? It'll be different, right? I'm either way I'm gonna watch it. I'm a tune in, absolutely. But I thought that was very interesting to see the 2028 Olympics now open to NFL players. So best of luck. I'm tuning in. I'm supporting regardless. But we'll see what they do. The other thing I want to talk about is the tush push. Now this has been a very interesting thing because um it went from the tush push actually might be getting banned to then only 10 teams basically voting for it to be banned. So it stays. The interesting thing around that, and I thought a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, the Panthers said that they didn't want to ban it, and now they're those are two different people, y'all. We got to keep in mind who votes and who doesn't. All right. So let me break this down real quick. What we heard Dave Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, say is that he's cool with it. Like, if you can't stop it, you can't stop it. You got to figure out a way to stop it. That's fine. But who votes? Dave Tepper. Now, granted, yeah, he might have talked to people, but at the end of the day, it's his opinion on what he wants to do. So we can't say, oh, they lied to us again. I saw some people on social media like, oh, well, Dave Canales lied again. He lied to Kay Adams and said that he liked Jalen Walker and they went T-Mac, and now he's lying. He said he liked the tush push and he voted against it. No, that was an owners meeting and they voted on that, right? So I think this is just an opinion piece. Like, for me personally, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, the tush push works because of the line and the quarterback you have, right? So I think you can't be mad that a team has found out that their running quarterback is good at this role, and our offensive line is better than your defensive line when it comes to getting 1 yard. And I thought it was very interesting. I saw a video recently. Ben Johnson from the Chicago Bears said something really interesting today. And he was basically like saying, like, "Oh, I don't care about the tush push. I don't even I don't even look at tush push. I'm big on explosive plays. I don't care about a 1 yard or a touchdown. I care about a touchdown, bro." It's like yes, everybody loves explosive plays. Explosive plays puts butts in the seats, right? But so does touchdowns, right? And wins. And the Eagles just won a championship, and they've been doing a tush push. So what we talking about, Ben? But yeah, shout out to the tush push, man. If you don't like it, stop it. And that's how I feel about it. And I'm saying that as a Panthers fan. Like, if we play them again, bro, and they're gonna do it, like, hey, we got to figure out a way to stop it. So that's all I gotta say about that. Last thing I want to discuss tonight. I think it's the last thing. Oh, no, we may do a little pregame react before we close. Um, but yeah, last content piece I want to discuss is our wide receiver room. So the reason I want to talk about the wide receiver room, because I feel as though, like, the wide receiver room, this is probably one of, if not the best wide receiver rooms that we have had in a very, very long time, if not the best ever, in my opinion, right? So the people you have pictured here is our wide receiver room. Now, granted, I did not put the UDFAs here, right? So I didn't put, or like people who just signed. So I did not put TJ Luther. I did not put Kobe Hudson, and I did not put Jacoby George. Not saying I don't think they're going to make it, but I want to talk about the people on here in particular. All right. So I just want to make that clear real quick, right? I just want to make that real clear because I know people are like, well, I like Kobe and I like this person. Why isn't this person on here? I just want, that'll take a long time. I just want to talk about these particular not players, but these particular individuals real quick. All right. So one thing I want to say is I am actually very excited about this class. Very excited about our depth here. And I want to kind of walk through some of these wide receivers because one thing I get it. I get people talking about this on Twitter. But one thing I'm seeing is a lot of people downing other receivers on our team to big up another one. And this happens in a few different instances. One, and this is definitely the elephant in the room, is I've seen so many people down XL to big up Nalo. And I don't like that. And I want to call this out real quick. Like, to me, these are totally two different players. And I feel as though out of all these receivers outside of T-Mac, the person that's going to benefit the most, even over Bryce, the person that's going to benefit the most for having T-Mac on the team is Xavier Legette. In my opinion, is Xavier Legette for a lot of different reasons. One, Xavier Legette has gotten experience last year from being the wide receiver one once Deontay Johnson left. He knows what it feels like to go against the best cornerback in the league. He knows what it feels like, and we have seen him. Go look at film if you don't think this is true. We've seen him beat a lot of CB1s, and then he didn't catch the ball, and he's working on that. Look, give him grace. It was a rookie year. Or Bryce Young overthrew him. Right? We saw him against Darius Slay. We saw him beat a few different corners, right? Scored on a few different really good corners. Patrick Surtain scored on him, right? So it's possible. He knows what it feels like. And the good thing about it, y'all, is, and this is something that Adam Thielen said recently in an article I saw, all these receivers are versatile. If you go back and look at some of T-Mac's film, he has been in the X, in the Z, in the Y. Like, he's been in so many different positions, and I've seen him like line up in a slot, so he can be everywhere. Same way with Xavier, he could be everywhere. So I don't think that it's always going to be like every play that T-Mac's going to be the wide receiver one. It's going to be times where, depending on who you're playing and all those different things. And granted, we know that it's going to be times where Xavier Legette is going to be lined up against the CB1 because of how either the formation is or whatever. So the fact that you get a lot of better wide receivers to be able to do those things and work on the outside all the way into the inside, to me, I absolutely love. So I feel like Xavier Legette's he's going to benefit the most for having T-Mac there. Absolutely. Adam Thielen. So I talked about T-Mac, talked about XL. I'm going to Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is finally going to be able to do what we wanted him to do when he first got here, is be that third down specialist, be that person who's going to get us that first down when we need him to, and doesn't have to work as hard or be wide receiver one, right? And it's funny because, like, when he first got here, nobody thought. Now, granted, I don't know what we were thinking when we thought DJ Chark's gonna be number one, but we didn't think Adam Thielen's gonna be our number one in the first place. But consistently, he's been our number one receiver. But now he can be in a very pivotal role for him and where he is in his career, that I think he's gonna cook. He's gonna do really, really well. So I'm excited. You already know, but Adam Thielen's gonna produce. Like, he's gonna produce. Jalen Coker. I'm excited for Jalen Coker. I think that he will have a really good season this year. I think the person that's going to have the most improved season is going to be XL. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. And I'm putting the pregame stamp on that. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. But Jalen Coker is going to be he's going to be that guy. He's going to be, I feel like he's going to shock a lot of people this year, in my opinion, in terms of playing a little bit more outside too than just a slot. And I think that like he doesn't have burner speed, but we saw what he did against the Cowboys. Once he gets that ball, that game speed is different, y'all. Like, yeah, forget the 40-yard dash, but when you got a ball in your hand and somebody chasing you, you got to catch me if you can. And he showed that. And so I feel like he has reliable hands. Probably right now, top 2, top 3 best hands on the team. I think right now it's Adam. Adam's a short-handed person. Nalo, elite hands. It's between Nalo and Jalen Coker between top 2. I don't know, but I'll give the edge to Jalen Coker because I've seen what he did in the NFL. So we'll see what T Mac talks about. Both elite hands, and that's what it's all about. David Moore. David Moore. Let me see. Cousin. I don't know if you're my cousin. You just got the name Moore. Moore is a popular last name. David Moore. I think that I think he's definitely a Canales guy. We talk like, Evero has his guys like a Jalen Ramsey, which I have thoughts on if y'all want to hear about the Jalen Ramsey thing, but it's up to y'all. He's a Canales guy. He did really well last year. But I feel like we can do better than David Moore, in my opinion. And I feel as though I've said this before. Panthers fans, we have this our toxic trait as Panthers fans is 2 things. One, we could be dying of thirst. We're in the desert, we're dying of thirst. We need water. And finally, Dasani comes. Some water comes down from the sky. Oh my gosh, thank you. But it's in the Dasani bottle. I don't want Dasani. I don't want Deer Park. But you're dying of thirst. Beggars can't be choosers, yo. And I feel as though we've been there in a lot of different instances with a lot of different players. And we need to start to trim the fat. Or we sit there and we hold on to an empty water bottle when someone's saying, hey, I have this new water bottle for you right here, full of ice cold water. You should try this. But you got to let go of that bottle that you're so used to. And this is what I feel as though David Moore is that empty bottle right now. When we got the Jimmy Horns here. And, dare I say, we got a Hunter Renfrow. Now, Hunter Renfrow, it's a lot of disdain around Hunter Renfrow. And I've seen it. It's been a lot of disdain around. He's a very polarizing player right now. And I don't understand why. Is it because he hasn't played in a year or two? And we know why. Because he was sick. But we can't forget about what Hunter Renfrow has done his entire career. From Clemson to Las Vegas to where he is now. I think he would be a great addition to our team. I feel as though he will be great even when, I feel like he may be on our team. I think he's going to make the 53. I do. My opinion, I think he'll make the 53. I think he brings a great skill set, sure hands, great route runner, not a burner, but knows how to get open, can get separation, and I feel as though he'd be a great depth piece, right? With Adam Thielen being 34, 35, Adam Thielen doesn't have to play every play, but you're not going to have a lot of fall off if you go from Adam Thielen to Hunter Renfrow. Oh, or from a Jalen Coker to Hunter Renfrow. You're not going to get a lot of fall off there. And I think that's what it's all about. You want to have your depth. You want to be able to have really good players who could potentially start. That's what you want. Like, as a GM, your goal is to have so many depth pieces where your third, fourth, fifth person could potentially start on another team. That's when you know you're doing well and you're developing your players. And Canales talks about all the time of this being a developmental organization. This is where you do it. And once Adam Thielen retires, you still want that veteran presence in the locker room. And Hunter Renfrow will create that veteran presence in the locker room. If it was between David Moore, I think the battle is between David Moore and Hunter Renfrow. And I'm leaning towards Hunter, y'all. I'm being real. I'm being real. But I said this before, like, yes, I was super excited about the T-Mac draft pick. But honestly, y'all, my favorite might have been Jimmy Horn Jr. Jimmy Horn Jr. was probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, draft pick that we had. 6th round, yes, my favorite. Because I feel as though he is exactly what we do not have on the team. So if you're looking at all these different players that are listed right here, outside of the TJ Luther, the Jacoby George, the Kobe Hudson, and honestly, like I look, because they're not on this picture here, does not mean that I don't like them. I think they're really good players. And if we're a developmental team, if we're development like we say we are, hopefully we keep some of them on the practice squad because I really, really like Kobe Hudson for sure. And Jacoby George is great too, but I really like Kobe Hudson. But I think Jimmy Horn has created his own path, his own lane to make this team. The speed is ridiculous. And I think the interesting thing about it is he has speed and quickness, right? And from what I'm seeing, we know that he's going to do the kick returning and the punt returning, and that's the lane that he's created for himself as well. But I think he's going to have some packages for sure. He's going to get some playing time. And as you're looking at this wide receiver room right now that we have from the people that we have drafted or signed here, a lot of these players are totally different, right? From T-Mac to XL to Jalen to Adam, where we start to get, these players may be a little somewhat similar, is the David Moore and the Hunter Renfrow, right? So I think that's going to be very interesting. One has better hands than the other. One's a little bit more of a better route runner than the other. That leans on the Hunter Renfrow side on both sides. So we will see. We will see what happens. I'm very, very curious to see what's going to happen. But I need to talk about the wide receiver room because I'm super excited to see it finally be competitive, y'all. Like, it's finally competitive again. And I think that's what I really like about it. And I remember a lot of times we go into training camp for the Panthers and we kind of low-key already know who's going to make the team because we like, yeah, that person just a training camp body. Now we get to the point where like really having debates online of who's going to make the team. That's when you know it's up, y'all. That's when you know we are finally going somewhere. That's when you know it's up. All right. So 2 things before we go. 2 pregame reacts. The first one I want to do is Genuine. Actually, no. I might save Genuine for next time. Yeah, I'll save the Genuine one for next time. I'll do a DJ mashup. So if y'all, one thing about me, y'all, if y'all don't know, I love music, but I like looking at, I appreciate a good DJ. I appreciate a good DJ who can mash up different songs together that rock. You know what I mean? Like if it's fire. And I saw this mashup, and I want you to know, like, is this fire? Like if we had a pregame podcast party, would this DJ be all right? So check out this video and let me know, W or L DJ.
She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt.
If you got it, it ain't a question. Oh, it ain't no room for guessing. No more than emotionally invested. Showing you all my imperfections. Oh, if I let you, don't take me for granted. Yeah. If I'm worth more than you could manage, yeah.
I wish I could make our love these moments and vibrant. You are like surge and it got play, surge and it pillow talk, surge and sweet.
Hey, shout out to DJ. What's his name? DJ Carl. I think it's DJ something Carl. I gotta look it up. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, DJ Carl J. Shout out to DJ Carl J. I heard that not too long ago, and I was like, "Yo, this is gas, boy, gas." I look, DJing is an art. Not everybody can do it. I've seen some trash DJs. I know I couldn't do it, but one thing I do have an ear for is music, and when a transition is good, and when you can mash something up like that. So I thought that was fire. Um, I want to share that. You know, I love music. I gotta add that in there a little bit. But yeah, we got a lot. I got a lot of other pregame reacts. I'm gonna save them for last time because we are overtime. And I think was it Everyday Gamer might have said this, but somebody throw in the chat was like, "Yo, Carlo, you should go for longer than an hour. You should go for like an hour and a half, 2 hours." I would love to. Y'all let me know if y'all want that. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to go longer, we can. But I try to keep it an hour because people got things to do. You know what I'm saying? People got things to do, and I don't want to keep people here for longer. But look, we got 50 people in the chat right now, and I appreciate y'all for rocking me this entire time. So if y'all want, look, if y'all want, look, one thing I've said this before. This is probably my second or third time saying this. I'm gonna say this. One thing that I love is community, right? And I think this is one reason that I do live podcasts versus recording because I love to interact with you all. And I love the community aspect. And so I want to know what you all want to hear, what you all want to see, what you all want to talk about. And a way to do that, of course, if you see at the bottom of the screen here, it's the Instagram, it's the Twitter handle, and it's also the YouTube where you can reach out to us and let us know what you want. Another way to do it is I'm creating a Discord, right? It's called the Pregame Network, an opportunity to network with everybody in here, opportunity to network with us, me, Vashti, Shad, and talk with us throughout the week. But then also it's a way for you to send videos that you want us to react to, topics that you want us to talk about. Like I said, this is a podcast for you all, right? What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? Some of the viral news, some of the crazy videos, movies that you want us to watch, whatever it may be. That's what it's all about. So if you want to join that, let me know. I will drop the link in the chat so that you can all join the Discord. Let me see if I have it up so I can do it right now. I do not have it up. I can. Let me see. Hold on. So I can pull it up real quick. All right. So like I said, it's fairly new. We just getting started. So we haven't talked too much in there yet, but we about to get this thing popping, right? And as we grow, look, let me tell you, as we continue to grow, I want y'all to get in it now. You know what I'm saying? While this is fresh, when we got 330 something subscribers. So when we blow up, you know what I'm saying? Who knows if the Discord will be a circle thing or if we gonna make it, for the masses. But right now, get in while you can. Join the Discord. Come rock with us. Come have fun with us so we can talk about things live. And then also I can tell you, I can ask y'all opinion on like, yo, should we talk about this? Should we talk about that? Or you like, hey, Carlo, I saw this particular thing that happened. I want to hear your opinion on it. You got to talk about it because that's what it's all about, man. Another thing, if you're interested in being a moderator, if you want to be a moderator for a chat, if you've been an A1 since day one and you want to be a moderator on the chat and you want to make sure that we keep everything uh, in the rules of YouTube, if you want to be a moderator, let me know. Let me know for sure. I would be glad to make y'all moderators. I make the list and make you all moderators because y'all been rocking with us since day one, right? And so it's TPG to the moon. So I appreciate the pregame gang.
Hey, say gang.
I appreciate y'all. So look, next Thursday, 7:30, like I told y'all earlier, live show coming up soon, right? It's gonna be sometime during the training camp period. We already in the works. Shot's gonna be there. Vashti gonna be there. Potentially Sheena Quick may be there. I'm trying to tell you, we are cooking something up. So y'all just make sure that y'all stay tuned. When tickets go live, I'll let y'all know. We'll let y'all know the spot. But it's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a vibe, right? Because like we could do it live and YouTube ain't got to trip on the music. So we could actually do a starting lineup and play the song that's on our starting lineup. And then we can talk about Panther stuff. We can talk about training camp. We can hear from Sheena and Vashti about what they see going on at training camp. Bruh, it's gonna be lit. I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna be fire. And y'all get to interact with all of us. It's nothing like seeing people that you see in the chat and then like going to dap them up and like, yo, I saw you, like, for instance, Slick Vic, that's in the chat. I saw him last training camp. He's like, yo, I'm Slick Vic. I'm like, oh shoot. Like, you just never know. So yeah, I definitely want to come interact with y'all, take pictures, all those different things. But look, bro, I said this before, I said this again. None of this is possible without y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, pregame gang. We out of here, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.